Hello, I'm Beth. In this video, we are going to practice 6 stretches for back body tension. So you'll see I'm in a chair. We're going to start with some moves seated in the chair, and those will be focused mainly on upper back. And then we're going to move to lying with the chair, and those moves will be focused a little bit more on lower back. Now, I adapted some of these moves from the Yoga for Healthy Aging blog, and I will link to those practices below. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. So first we're going to find mountain pose in the chair. Basically, we're going to sit toward the front edge of the chair so that our feet can be flat on the ground. So scooch around on your chair a little bit and find a place where your feet can be securely planted to the ground. They can be closer together or maybe about hip width apart, wherever you feel really grounded in your lower body. The lower body is going to stay pretty stable. You might want to scooch around a little bit to make sure that you're on your sits bones. And then take a moment with your hands simply resting on the front of your thighs to anchor into your sits bones and allow your torso to be tall, as if your ribs were lifting off of your waist. We'll just be here for a few natural, comfortable breaths. Feeling your body aligned with your lower stable, your shoulders over your ribs, over your hips. And we're going to be moving dynamically and then hold. So we'll try to move with the in-breath and the out-breath, and then we'll hold poses for about 6 breaths or so. Most will do between 4 and 6 repetitions and then hold for 6 breaths. So let's start with our dynamic arms overhead. Let your arms hang by your sides to begin. And then as we breathe in, we'll reach the arms up overhead, thinking about length all the way from the hips to the fingertips. And exhale, float the arms down. So we'll do that 5 more times. This is 2. Exhale down. Breathing in and out through your nose if that's comfortable for you. So inhale up. Exhale down. Reaching so that your arms come close to your ears, although they might be a little in front if your shoulders are tight. Exhale down, and I believe we have 2 more. And each time we're thinking about reaching up with length and then exhaling down to release. Okay, take a moment. We're going to reach up that same way, but this time we're going to take a lateral stretch, a crescent stretch from side to side. We'll do 3 times on each side, and then we'll hold to each side. So let's breathe in and reach up again. And remember, we're looking for length, not just reaching with your fingers, but reaching from your hips through your ribs. Let your armpits stretch. So big, long stretch. And then we'll start by going through to your right. So keeping your arms here, take a breath in and reach up, and then exhale over to your right. Inhale back through to center, and exhale over to your left. We're still keeping the lower body really stable. Inhale through to the center, exhale through back to your right, stretching toward the side, and then inhaling, reach to center, exhaling to your left. Hips don't move, so I'm not lifting up at my hip as I do this. Inhaling center, last time to each side. Reach, 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 both sides long. Inhale center, reach both sides. Inhale to center. And now we're going to hold. So inhale up tall, exhale right. We're going to try to hold between 4 and 6 breaths. Now, when we hold in this way, we combine flexibility. So we move back and forth to warm up a little bit. And then these long holds offer a combination of flexibility and strength. So we build up endurance as we hold, but we also help to increase flexibility as we stretch to our range of motion around our joints. In this case, it's the joints around the upper body, the upper back. Let's take one more strong inhale and exhale. Breathe in fully. Exhale fully. And the next breath in, reach up tall. Now, if you need a little rest for your arms, you can certainly rest your arms. If you're good, keep reaching. Again, this is a little bit of endurance work too, a little bit of strength. And then exhale over to your left. Once again, reaching both sides long as we keep the lower body stable. Breathing in and out here for about 4 to 6 breaths. And if you're timing these poses on your own, you can time them for about 30 seconds per hold, or up to about 90 seconds, a minute and a half. Let's stay here for one more breath. Again, full inhale, full exhale. And then on the next inhale, reach up overhead. And exhale, and it's probably a relief to let the arms come down and really release. Let the shoulders soften. You might even want to put your hands there for a second. I even like scrunching my shoulders for a moment and then releasing to make sure that I have that released. Okay, our last seated in the chair move is going to be a twist. I'm going to do the twist with my knees, my legs together, feet flat on the floor, but I want to show you a couple of other options. So one option is to cross your left leg over the right, and so have the legs crossed, and this is for when we'll be turning to your left. Another option is to have the ankle over the knee in a figure 4, and again, turning toward your left. Now those options simply change where you feel the stretch a little bit. It might bring the hips a little bit more into it. So you can try that. You can either practice with feet flat with me or try either of those options. So if you're practicing with feet flat with me, once again, establish your mountain pose, your seated mountain pose, strong foundation. As we twist, the twist is going to come from around the belly button, maybe even lower, and move around through the rib cage. This thoracic spine area is where we have the most space to twist, and it's also going to help release our mid to upper back. So we'll go 3 times to the left, and then we'll hold, and then we'll repeat on the right. Your hands can just hold you in the twist wherever you naturally hold. Okay, are you ready? Take a breath in, and this time we're going to exhale to move into the twist. And then we'll breathe in here and exhale to release. 2 more like that. Take a breath in, exhale, revolve around your spine into the twist, maybe twisting your head, and release back to front. So your head doesn't have to go. I can stay face forward if it doesn't feel good to move my neck, or I can keep my chin over my chest. I'm back in, and this time we'll hold. So take a breath in, and as you're ready, start to twist, spinning around that spine, especially your thoracic spine. Notice that your left shoulder comes back, your right comes forward, and then wherever you can comfortably hold with the arms, one hand might be across the thigh, the other might be across the chair back. Hold there. Remember, you can keep your chin centered over the chest. You can look over your back shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. Or it might feel good to look in the opposite direction. So I'm going to look over my back shoulder for about 3 more breaths. Each inhale, we can think about letting ourselves get a little taller in the pose. And on the exhale, you can explore whether there's any more minute room to twist. Maybe it's a little millimeter here or there. All right, last breath. Exhale fully. And then on your next exhale, we'll unwind back to front. Take a moment to feel the effects of that. You might feel a little looser on the one side. Of course, that's natural. Reestablish your mountain and we'll switch to twisting to your right. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, twist to the place where you can comfortably go for this dynamic movement, and then back to front. So we're not necessarily going to our maximum. Breathe in, exhale, twist. Just exploring motion, and you can do more of these dynamic repetitions, more like 6 to 10. We're just doing 3 for each twist. But you might find your body enjoys a little bit more warm-up movement. Okay, this is the one where we'll hold, so take a breath in. Exhale, spin around your thoracic spine, around the area of your ribs. Find a place where you can comfortably hold the right shoulder back, the left is moving forward. Use your hands not to pull, but simply to help you in place. And then find a place where your neck feels comfortable. Maybe you like the twist in the same direction. Maybe you prefer a little bit of pull from twisting your head in the opposite direction. Or maybe a neutral neck with the chin over chest works best for you. So once again, I'm going to look over my back shoulder for the last 3 breaths. Breathing in length and tallness in your mountain pose with a twist. One more full breath in, exploring the twist on the exhale. And then take another breath, and this time unwind on the exhale back to your mountain pose. So hopefully maybe you feel a little bit more freedom in your upper body. We are now going to move to the lower body. So we'll need to rearrange the chair, come down to the floor, and arrange your chair so that it's facing side and you can put your shins on it. Now, if this is too high for you, you'll see where it is for me. Let's see, tuck my toes under. So this is about the right height for me because I can have my legs at a 90-degree angle. If this is too high for you, you can absolutely use a stool, something a little lower rather than a chair, a chest, a bunch of stacked firm pillows, whatever works for you. So we'll start here. Now, if you'd like something under your head, you can have a small blanket or a towel for a little extra cushion under your head. That's fine. So begin here by settling in. This is calves or legs on the chair pose. This in and of itself can be really therapeutic for the back. And in fact, this is where we'll end our practice. It'll be our last pose. But starting here, we're going to start with a little motion in the pelvis. So we're going to take some pelvic rocks. You may hardly see these on camera. These will be really subtle. So on an inhale, I'm going to press my tailbone into the ground and get a little bit more of a curve under my lower back. I'm exaggerating this a little bit in hopes that maybe you can see it if I move my arm out of the way. And then on the exhale, it's a little bit of a scoop as you press your lower back. You might even press into the back of your calves a little bit to let your lower back really press into the ground. Your tailbone will scoop and lift a little bit, and you'll have engagement across the front. We're going to repeat this up to maybe about 10 times. So you can go at your own pace, letting your lower back arch, and then shifting so your lower back presses into the ground. Again, adding the breath if it's comfortable, maybe breathing in as your tailbone presses, your back arches up. And exhale as you let the air come out of your diaphragm, press the lower back toward the ground. And you might even think of drawing the front hip points a little bit together. Let your breath be relaxed as you do this. So this is
dynamic move is intended to be pretty soft. If you're actually having any pain in your back, move very gently. Don't do anything that exaggerates the pain. There certainly may be a little discomfort as you start to move. Discomfort can be okay to work through some of the tightness that we feel, but if it's sharp, stinging, we want to avoid that kind of pain. It's more of a diffuse discomfort. That can be us helping our body move through any tightness, any joints that are less mobile, any muscles that are contracting. So I wasn't really counting here. Maybe you were. I don't think you can do this too much. Let's do maybe 2 more. So inhale and arch. Exhale and press lower back. Inhale and arch. And exhale, press lower back. And then come back to neutral. Neutral means we're not arched, we're not overly pressed. There's a little bit of a curve in your lower back, but not as extreme as when we press the tailbone. We want this to be a relatively comfortable position. We're going to draw in knee to chest. So let's start with, actually whatever leg you want. This is my right leg. You're going to keep the left on the chair and use your hand to start pulling the leg in toward your chest. Now you can grasp around the thigh if that's doable for you. If not, you can grab a towel, a blanket, anything relatively stretchy, an exercise band to take around the back of your thigh. And then find a spot where you can comfortably hold the leg in. Now there may be some compression across the front of your body. Compression occurs when tissues are pressing up against each other. It's okay, even if it's a little uncomfortable. Remember, some discomfort is okay. What we don't want is any sharp stinging pain. So if it's just a sense of a little bit of pressure, as long as it's a doable pressure, that's where we want to stay and hold for about 6 breaths. So your arms are contributing to this hold a little bit. They're doing a little work here, holding your leg in. Your breath is comfortable in and out. When you breathe in, again, you might feel that compression of the air in the diaphragm as your stomach expands, pressing against the front of your leg, and that's okay as long as it's doable. Let's take 2 more in-breaths, 2 more full breaths. So breathing in, exhale, release. Breathing in, and exhale, release. And slowly release the leg. Replace it back next to the other one. Let your back be comfortable, neutral on the ground. If you want to take a pelvis rock in between, you can certainly do that. We'll just do 2 here. And then we'll find neutral, where our back is comfortably supported, backs of the hips on the ground, but a little bit of space in the lower back. And then we'll go to the second leg. So it's my left leg, starting to pull in. And I find the spot where I can comfortably clasp my hands or hold with a towel or something else, pulling my leg in so that there's some compression of the front of the thigh against the torso, but it's a doable compression. Now you might actually notice in my body that This leg can come in a little further on the right side. I have to abduct a little bit, the legs out to the side. It's just the shape of my body and my bones. You might find that about yourself too, that your sides, they may look pretty symmetrical, but we're not. We have different things going on with either side of the body. I'm right dominant, so there tends to be more tightness on that side. Remember, we're putting a little pressure on our hands, but we're making that doable and comfortable. And we're holding here. We're doing it for about 6 breaths or so. You can do 6 to 10. You can do longer. For me, 5 to 6 breaths generally equates to about 30 seconds. We're probably actually doing a little more here, probably holding closer to 45 or maybe even a minute. Great. If we hold a little longer, that's good. So let's take 2 more breaths. And then slowly replace this leg on the chair. Once again, adjust if you've gotten out of that comfortable neutral alignment. Now, I said that this is where we're going to end. So we're going to end with this position of legs on the chair. This in and of itself, if you don't do anything else, this can feel like a very therapeutic rest and release, especially for the lower back and if you have any hip pain. So we're going to stay here for about 10 breaths, maybe about a minute. Don't quote me on that. Now, to aid in the relaxation response, again, you can have something under your head that maybe tilts your chin a little bit toward your chest so that your head's not back. Your chin is a little bit in. That will stimulate what is called the baroreceptors in the back of your head. Those help do things like start to decrease blood pressure and decrease heart rate and send your body into a relaxed state. And then you can aid that further by starting to let your exhales be a little longer than your inhale. So you might count that to yourself, count wherever you naturally breathe in. So for me, it might be something like in, 2, 3, and then I'll just let my exhale go a little longer. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Simply adding a beat or 2 at the end of your exhale. Perhaps you can find that your exhale will go to about twice as long as the inhale. And no need to force that. I'm going to take 2 more full breaths with you. So breathing in through the nose. Fully releasing the breath. And you can see with my hands on my lower abdomen, I can actually feel the breath as I breathe in. As I exhale, I can feel the breath release. Let's do one more together. Breathe in, feeling your own breath expand on the inhale. And then long, slow exhale out. Now you can stay here as long as you like. This is actually a great place to stay. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So no need to end the video with me. I'm going to slowly roll to you and come up to seated.
So as I said, these different moves that I did, the upper body and the lower body, came from the Yoga for a Healthy Aging blog, which is now called Yoga for Times of Change. So I'll link below to the practices that I use to inspire this practice that I put together for you today. Please like, subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this. If you want to try some of my other offerings, I've got some other yoga for back care videos, so take a look at that. And then I also have a whole series of chair yoga if that's your preference. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.